We're good.
How you going there, guys, and welcome to another episode of the Smashing Crossbar Podcast. I'm your host, Josh, joined once again by my co-host, Ben. How are you, mate?
I'm good, mate. How are you doing this week?
Fabulous, mate, fabulous. Fresh off a nice long weekend, back to work tomorrow.
It's still a long weekend, mate.
Still a long weekend, you take it. Hello to everybody, obviously, in the chat. Chris, Luke, I believe my wife's here as well. Someone's ringing.
That's my alarm going off.
Oh, alarm going off, we're live. Tim Meek, how you going, guys? Tonight we have been lucky enough to be joined by a Newcastle Jets W League player. Thank you very much to Tara Andrews for jumping on and giving us a bit of her time, obviously, to talk about the W League and women's football in general. Tara, how are you?
I'm good, thanks. It's good to be here. Thanks for having me.
No, thank you for jumping on. It's an absolute pleasure finally to have a W League player to obviously have a chat with and to get your thoughts obviously on the league as a whole and women's football. So muchly appreciate it.
No worries.
No worries. We'll start off. Obviously, we've got a few questions. If anyone wants to put a few questions in the chat as well that they've got for Tara, feel free. We'll get to them. I've got a couple here as well from a few guys that couldn't make it tonight. Before we go any further, though, I do have obviously a big thank you to Gabrielle Ma, optometrist from Jesmond, for our major sponsor. Be sure to go out and check those guys out for all your eye care needs, whether it be eye test appointments, sunglasses. If you've got young kids, they do really good things, obviously, with the young kids to make sure their eyes are getting tested, etc. Be sure to jump out and see those guys. Lockie and Gabe obviously do a great job, so be sure to go see those guys at Jesmond. But we'll get into it, Tara. Obviously, we'll talk a little bit about your younger days. Still only 26, I believe, but
That's a long time ago.
Go back to your younger days. So where did it all begin? Where did football begin for you?
So I started playing when I was about 10 years old, so I was still in primary school and pretty much got into soccer just because the girls were playing with the boys at school and in soccer, and then just started playing around with them, and then ended up playing for Ferreira United in Newcastle, and I guess that's where it all started. And then just as the progression goes, you make the rep teams, and then Northern New South Wales football here, and you go to nationals and kind of get picked up that way. And then started playing for the Jets when I was 15. So it's been a long career so far, it seems.
Yeah, absolutely. So obviously you played your junior football there at Merewether. What did you go to? Like Merewether High School, or were you in the selective Hunter Sports, or?
Yeah, so I went to Hunter Sports High.
Yeah.
So I went there 7 to 10, and then SFX in Newcastle for 11 and 12. So really got to play some football, in those early high school days. So it was a really good place to go.
Obviously, would have helped you. Definitely helped your progression. Obviously, as you said, you've been at Jets since you were 15, so you're still in school, and obviously would have been interesting to play. Obviously, at that age. Obviously, I believe who was the other one around that age. Ken Roski.
Yeah,
I believe was another young prospect of the Jets. Obviously at 16, still in school. So
at 15, my rep days were over.
15. I think I was playing Macquarie, whatever they used to call it, an FYL or whatever it was back in those days. It's been changed so many times.
Yeah, Macquarie football, Newcastle football.
Newcastle, Port Stephens, and Taree or some shit up there, somewhere up the coast. Obviously, as you said, you've been there since 2009, roughly, that'd make it. So you played pretty well, roughly 68 games, 27 goals from 2009 to 2016. And then 2014-15 season, you went over to America. How did that come about?
I was Ashley Spina was one of the girls that was playing with the Jets at the time. We both really wanted to go overseas, and we were kind of talking about it. We were like, should we just do it? Like, where are we going to go? What are we going to do? And ended up just, we got in touch with Tom Samani, who was over in the States coaching another team at the time. And he put us in contact with the Colorado Pride coach.
Yep.
And then we just started that way, and we both went over at the same time, stayed with this amazing host family, and loved it over there. for the first season. I didn't play a lot the first season.
Yep.
But I went back the second season and we got a new coach and I ended up playing pretty well. Yeah, got a few awards, so it was probably the best, one of the best times in my career for football because I could just focus on football.
Yeah.
I deferred uni for that time. I wasn't working when I was over there. I was just focusing on football and having a good time, and that just probably made me play so much better. So yeah, it was a really good time in my life and career. So yeah.
Yeah, obviously makes a big difference when, as you said, you don't really have to concentrate on studying and obviously working and everything else, which you've had to do pretty much through most of your time with the Jets. I believe you were studying civil engineer.
Yes, that's right.
time?
Yeah. So I was. Yep. So it took me 6 years to do just to try and juggle it all with football, but yeah, finally finished, and it's been a long road, but yeah, finally got it all done.
Yeah, so let's not be modest. The accolades and the awards you're talking about in the States, I think it was most valuable player, leading goal scorer.
Golden Boot and MVP.
So we're talking about the best, the best, best of the best. 2 awards, you know.
Yeah, well, it wasn't bad. They're the 2 that you really want to get as a striker. Obviously, getting Golden Boot and then MVPs.
Yeah.
You know, the all-time important awards. So yeah, obviously I had a pretty good season, and we ended up falling short in the championship game, but yeah, we got all the way to the championship game, which was really good, and yeah, it was a great season to be a part of.
Yeah, I think it was also the last season. The last season of it, I think it finished up, didn't it, Ben, in extension?
Yeah, I think it folded.
Folded after
year.
that. Yeah. So for everyone, obviously, it's the second division in the in America.
So a lot of college girls,
mainly all college. Yeah.
Yeah.
I think we're doing some reading into it, and it's like virtually you've got to be somewhat
associated with the college.
You got to be
or a university of some description.
Yeah.
To sort of play in it or whatever it is. So
I played with another ex-Jet before becoming a Jet. Britt Ekstrom.
Oh yeah, Britt.
Yes, I did. She played for Colorado, and I also actually Chloe Lagazzo was there the first year as well. So Mallory Webber was also another one.
Oh wow.
Who played for Adelaide United. So yeah,
there's definitely a few.
It was a pretty good league, I guess, when I was playing, and a lot of good girls were in that team.
Yeah, right.
Yeah, a lot of them have also gone on to play in, the higher women's league in America as well.
Yeah, the NWSL. Yep.
Yeah.
Got a couple of questions popped in. What have we got? See, we've answered that one. Junior club, what age? Aiden's come in with, when you were playing in your junior sides or your junior years, did you have a preferred position to the position you play now, or has it always been the same?
I think when I first started playing, I played like centre midfield, but I would pretty much run all the way back and defend and be a defender, and then I'd run all the way to the front of the field and try and score goals. So I was probably a bit more of a midfielder back then, and then I love scoring goals, so I probably moved a bit more towards being a striker. But it's stayed the same for probably at least 10 years now.
Yeah. Sounds like a classic box-to-box midfielder.
Yeah, when I was young enough to do all that running.
Oh, I agree.
Yeah. What do we got here?
Your wife's posed a question. That's a decent question too.
It is a very interesting question. I knew she'd be very fiery because my wife is very passionate. She plays football and she played AFL beforehand and so forth. So she's asked you the question: do you think that sexism? Do you think sexism in women's sports is still very prevalent?
It's a very controversial question. Yeah, I do think it's still pretty prevalent. I mean, it's changing a lot from probably what it used to be.
Yeah.
I know the Matildas back in the day had to go through a lot just to be able to play football and pay their own way to play.
Yeah.
So it's come a long way from that, but I think it's still, it's definitely still there, and we see it. But I think the more awareness women's sports are getting now with how well the Matildas are going. Obviously, the AFL, cricket.
Yeah.
I think it's definitely dropping, but it's everyone loves to watch the men because they're faster, they're stronger, it's more exciting. But I think a lot of people are changing their minds now, and because the women's game is different, I'd say it's probably more tactical. Instead of we're fast and the men are fast and strong, but we probably have to use tactics a little bit more. So it's probably more interesting sometimes in that way.
Yeah.
So yeah, it's still there, but it's changing slowly.
Yeah, I think obviously again, might be a bit biased being Novocastrian, but obviously just watching the women, like the Matildas play in Newcastle, I think the Novocastrians have a very strong, spot for the women's side. That most times I've seen them play there. Obviously, the stadium's pretty well packed. They get a really good following and so forth. As where I've seen it in other places as well. It's not you're not getting your 30 plus thousand or whatever it was.
Yeah.
Where I've seen obviously at Energy Australia Stadium, I believe when we played Chile, it was pretty well packed out.
Yeah.
And everything else. So as you said, I think it's definitely myself. I think it's still definitely there, and it definitely needs to change. There's I believe nothing that the females can't do that the males, vice versa. You know what I mean? You look at your Sam Kerrs and everything else. And obviously I'm sure there's plenty of other females as well, but this definitely needs to change, and hopefully it does for the better. Maybe the World Cup bids that we've got coming up is
definitely. I think that would be something that would definitely change people's minds and make them take a bit of a different perspective, I think.
I believe what's his name, the FFA
James Johnson.
James Johnson. I think he's as he said, he came out and he clearly said, he goes, first and foremost, the first thing he wants is the Women's World Cup here. Yeah. You know what I mean? Like, it's his major
Not only
prime.
that, but one of his prime goals is to boost the women's game here in the country as well. So it is on a somewhat equal footing in the men as well. That's he's listed as one of his top priorities, which I'm 150% behind.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Cheers, Simeon, in the chat. But yeah, as I said, guys, any more questions you've got as well, feel free. What's obviously what's the best, probably the best thing about playing for your hometown club? For you?
Well, obviously I've lived in Newcastle pretty much my whole life, so for my friends and family to be able to come and watch and me to represent my town is obviously a pretty big honour.
Yeah.
And just having everyone come down and watch you and just have them all there cheering you on, and even the wider community. I think I'm a big part of the community. I know a lot of people here, so it's pretty good when you see everyone in the crowd cheering you on, and they really get behind you here in Newcastle. I remember the first game against City last season. The crowd were going crazy. We were obviously playing pretty well and we got a draw against City, but the crowd were going wild, and it was really pushed us along, and that probably helped us get that draw. So yeah, the community is a big part of it as well.
Yeah, again, we're biased. We've probably got one of the best fan bases in our opinion.
Yeah.
The ones that
One
are
of the
there
more
every week.
supportive fan bases.
The ones that are there every week, anyway. As I said, we've seen over years that the Newcastle Jets fan base can be pretty. When we're losing, obviously it makes life hard for obviously the players because there's not much there. But if they're winning,
they're all there.
Everyone's there. The boys obviously a prime example of the grand final for that. A couple of years ago, obviously, where
don't even.
Yeah,
I travelled halfway across the country to get to that game.
Oh, mate, you stole
on a plane with Victory supporters. It was not fun.
You stole someone's. And you remember, you paid your membership.
I am.
You stole someone who wasn't a member's ticket.
How dare I?
How dare I? Because they couldn't get a ticket because they weren't a member because they didn't think we were going to make it. But anyway, that's another topic.
Wearing jet ski on a flight from here to Sydney,
full of Melbourne.
Full of Melbourne Victory supporters, was not fun.
I miss those days. Those good days.
It wouldn't have been.
Nah. So how did you? The other thing as well, I would like to know is how did the whole coming from Hunter Sports to the Newcastle Jets actually come about? Were you picked up by a scout, or like how did that?
It was a long time ago, but I think it was more so that from Hunter Sports, you make the rep teams, and then I got into Northern New South Wales rep team, and it kind of goes from there. You when you go to nationals, they have scouts there for, say, the under-17s national team. So you kind of get picked up there, and obviously playing in the Newcastle League, coaches come around and watch you play, so you get picked up that way as well. Yeah,
would have been very exciting as a 15-year-old, I'm sure.
It was pretty scary. I trained, so that was the second season the W League was in, but I trained with them in the first year. In the first year, they had like Shell Salisbury, Katie Gill, Emily Van Egmond, and I was like so scared. Every training session, I was like, oh my gosh. Yeah, exactly. That was right.
Very starstruck.
So yeah, it was pretty good just to be part of it, even for the first year, just training with them every now and then. So
what do we got here? Michael's sent a message in. That's interesting. Tara Andrews, I've got a question. Do you regret giving up 5-a-side and spending the winnings at the Jasmine Hotel with Milos Andrew?
I did see that question before.
Yeah. He messaged me today, so make sure you ask her. I'm very interested to know.
Yeah, I actually played 5-a-side with them when I had a year off a few years ago. It was good fun, but
it's the only football
the old Jezza Hotel.
The old Jezza Hotel after the games. Good times. So you've played twice for the national team, the Matildas.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah.
Yeah. What was that like? Obviously, getting your first cap.
Yeah, it was obviously the biggest honour you can have in football, and that came about the year after I played in America. And I did really well. I came back and got called into camp. I'd been into camp previously with Tom Samani, and then got called back in when Stadge was there that year. And then made my debut at the end of that year in China. So it was pretty special, and I reckon that when I was warming up to go on, and when I was about to go on, the physio told me later that my eyes were just like popping out of my head because I was just so excited, and it was just like so scary. So yeah, it was pretty cool. I was probably just running around like a headless chook in that first game. So, but yeah, it was awesome to be a part of that, and it's only been 2 times, but not sure what will happen in the future. But
shall we keep plugging away, and ambitions will. As I said, you'll get there, and hopefully, I think the biggest thing is as we've sort of touched on, is in regards to the W League. It needs to be extended, in my opinion. Obviously, a lot longer season. 14 games or whatever it is obviously definitely not enough to support a wage full time. And at the end of the day, if you're playing in the W League, to me that's a professional footballer, and if you're playing professionally, you don't play 6 months of the year. You know what I mean? Like, it's one of those things where you want to be playing for the 12 months. Or at least as long as the guys are, obviously, at whatever that is, 27, 28 rounds or something like that.
28 plus final series.
Soon to be 30 or something like that.
Yeah.
With MacArthur coming in. So, so obviously, hopefully we can get something sorted with that, and you guys can obviously get the extra fixtures that obviously you guys need. And what's one of the biggest motivators for you in, I suppose, training or game day? Like, what motivates you to get up and play?
Well, I love to score goals. Love the glory, obviously. No, well, I've been playing soccer for so long, so sometimes it feels a bit like a job, but I do love it. I love playing football, and I love to play for myself and for my family, and obviously for all the Newcastle fans. It's just great to be out there, and I want to be better every day. Seeing how well the Matildas are doing now they're just taking it to the next level, and I think everyone in our league just wants to be better because we want a professional league and we want to be better. So I think that motivates everyone to try and get to the next level and make our league as good as like the US, or try to strive for that at least. In the future.
All right. Well, James has popped in with a question here as well. And we'll move on to this one, which is, who is your favourite Newcastle Jets player of all time in both the men's and women's team?
Wow, that's tough. Oh,
There's a lot of good choices.
that's a lot. I thought, I'll go with I'll go with the player at the moment. I think Stevie Ugarkovic is doing really well.
Yep. Unsung hero in the men's side.
He's he is. I watch him every game, and he's just running from box to box. Now he's scoring bombs. Playing on top of the 18-yard box. So I don't know. He's just probably pops to mind recently.
He's one of Ben's favourites.
Yeah,
he is.
Ben loves watching him play.
It's because nobody else notices him. That's why.
That's the best thing. It's good,
exactly.
because he goes so unnoticed. And you watch the people. I think that's the best way to me that he's done well is when people sort of go, he done nothing.
Yeah, he's done his job.
When he comes, noticed him. So,
when you haven't noticed him and you thought that he's done nothing, he's done exactly that. Whether it be create space or
he reminds me a lot of Brandon O'Neill when he played Sydney.
Yeah,
same sort of thing.
Yeah, very going unnoticed, but then obviously pops up with a bomb as
every now and then.
Just say, screamer at the top of the 18. Female, have you got a favourite female?
Ooh. Of all time,
but not even a favourite, just someone obviously idolised.
I'm a massive fan of Joey Peters. So
yeah,
she only played in I think first season. I know she didn't play in the second season, but I'm a massive fan of her. I have been when she was playing for the Matildas, and she's coached me a lot. So yeah, I think she's probably one of my favourite, I guess, female players for the Jets.
Yep. What do we got here? My wife from another country. Here we go. What do we got now? She worries me every time she pops up there. Okay. Are the Jets very accommodating to the LGBT players?
Yes. Yeah. I would definitely say they are. We've had over the years I've been in there. That there's been people that are in that category, and everyone's very accommodating, from all the players, all the staff. It's nothing new. It's just exactly. As usual, we treat them as normal, and that's the way it is. We're all just doing our thing, and we all love football, and that's why we're there. So 100%. We all support each other, and that's it.
100%. You got anything?
I can understand why you'd be scared every time the wife asks a question.
Again, trust me. Trust me. Like,
she's trying to catch you out.
No, I'm getting scared too.
She's very passionate about women's football, and
I suppose that goes down to the level that sort of the women's game is down here in the sort of
it gets
casual levels.
Yeah, it gets no recognition down here and so forth, and it's, as I said, it's just one of those things. Even as I said, we go from little things from I said, the W League only playing 14 games to compared to the men where they've got a full season.
The girls tend to travel by bus a lot more too.
Well, yeah, from just little things, you know what I mean? So obviously those things sort of upset her, and if you've got a professional female footballer here, it's gives her an opportunity, obviously, to ask a few of the harder questions that she would obviously like answered. So good on her.
No, that's
I like it. It's good.
Yeah. So, so what have we got? You're 26. Still got plenty of years left. What's your ambitions going forward? Obviously, do you see yourself at the Jets? Do you want to test yourself overseas somewhere? What are your goals? What are your plans?
Yeah, so I mean, look, for this year coming, I'd like to be with the Jets again if they'd have me. I got injured. I broke my leg a couple of years ago. So this past season that just went by was the first season in a little while that I played the full season. The two before that, I played maybe 4 games because of injury. So trying to get that consistent football again, and hopefully, continue in the season on with Manly this year, and then back into the Jets. I want to be able to get my fitness up, play consistent football, and then after that, I would like to go back overseas and play if the opportunity came up. So that's something that I would look to now, obviously before I get too old. So yeah, I guess we'll just see what happens. But yeah, obviously just trying to play consistently and
That's it.
the best I can while I'm still young enough.
Yeah, absolutely. We'll talk a little bit, obviously, about the season gone past. 2 wins wasn't exactly. Hey,
it's not ideal.
Well,
No.
let's yeah.
Far from ideal.
Point to point though.
You take what you can, I suppose, in some aspects.
You've lost your page, haven't you? Hang on.
Hang on, we've lost the page. That back for you. Thanks, mate. Just flog with me stuff. Here we go. It's not the one I was after, but anyway. Yes, obviously, what have we got there? 12 games, 2 losses, 1 draw. What do you think went wrong this season?
I think obviously not having internationals didn't help. I mean, that's no excuse. And I think we started off pretty well. I think in pre-season we had a few new players, and I think we were starting to combine really well.
Yep.
And first game against City, we played probably the best we did all season, to be honest. Came out firing, and then it just started to slip a little bit. And I think, probably halfway through the season, I think we just lost belief in ourselves, and we just thought, well, we don't have any internationals. How can we compete? So we probably just lost that belief, and potentially started giving up a little bit because we knew we weren't going to make it, and things just weren't gelling. And to be honest, I think we did the simple things wrong. So simple things like passing, finding players' feet, choosing the wrong option, that crept into our game a lot, and it was quite frustrating to play in that. And it was just hard to fix because I think people, we just lost belief at that point as well. So it was hard to come back from that.
Yeah, I suppose that would have also been at around the same point that Deansy stepped aside and went to help out the men's side as well. That would have changed dynamics slightly.
Yeah, it did, definitely. And I mean, obviously we've had Ash as our assistant coach for 5 years, so we weren't. It wasn't too much of a change, but I think it did put us off a little bit because we weren't sure if he was going to come back and what was going to happen. And I think we tried to get past it, but looking back, I think it definitely did affect us in the way we played because, it wasn't there and we were all unsure and we were still losing. So it was just all, not really working for us.
So obviously, you were saying this before. Obviously, you'd like to stay at the Jets next season if they'd have you. So what's the go there if the contracts? Obviously, you off contract.
Yeah, so the female ones, they do. Some clubs do 2-year deals, but
most of them 12.
That's generally only for top players like Matilda's players that they would probably do that. But the rest of us are just on 1-year deals, so pretty much a 4-month contract or however long it is, something like that. And then you pretty much have to re-sign every year. So
wow. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Right. Jeez, 4 months. Okay. Now when you say that, 4 months, it's like
personal opinion. I think that's disgusting.
That's pretty bad, isn't it? That's really bad.
I think that's disgusting.
Like I was expecting 6 months at least. Like
6 months at least. But if you're signing a 1-year deal, it's a 1-year deal, not a 4-month deal.
That's pretty much.
Yeah, I think it's like approximate. It says like 23 weeks or something like that. So it covers the 14 rounds plus finals and a bit of preseason.
Yeah.
4 weeks preseason, I think it is. So it's not that long.
Wow.
Again, my statement controversial, but that's disgusting.
No, that's.
And I know I'm saying that in the way of that it's not just the Jets; it's league wide.
Yeah, 100%.
That's disgusting.
Yeah, it's not. It's a game comes down to obviously women's football. And them not getting should be. What do we got else here?
Can you tell your mum to yes, Julie, I am wearing pajama pants.
Mum's family's giving you a bashing, mate. Rightio, what's good?
Hey, it just shows that these podcasts are chill as.
Oh, we are relaxed. It's a Monday night. It's freezing cold in Melbourne.
It is. It's always cold in Melbourne.
Always.
Yeah, the wife's coming again. Is there a huge playing gap going from the WNPL to the W League? Do you find that? I suppose like the males as well. In the men's league, it's a massive gap. You'll find that the guys get a chance, obviously coming from the NPL, and they just don't cut it. It's a much too big a step. The training's completely different. The structure, everything. What are your thoughts? Obviously playing from the WNPL.
Yeah, definitely. So the last time I played in Sydney was, I think, 3 years ago, when I was with Koalas, and back then, yeah, it was a pretty big step. It was getting better, and I think this year now, a lot of the W League players actually play in that Sydney League, and for example, the Sydney Uni team have a lot of the young Matildas players, so the league's definitely getting a lot better. And in my team, we've got 4 W League players, so it's generally getting a lot better. And I think the gap's getting smaller, but it's still a pretty big gap. And I've heard rumors of them saying, it'd be good if you had the WMPL as a feeder into the W League, which would be great. I don't know if it's at that point yet, but in the future, that's obviously what they'd probably aim to do, if they could line up the leagues.
Do you find it a big difference going back to the WMPL after you finished the A League?
Yeah, so I was in the Newcastle League last year and the year before, and that's even a massive jump compared to the Sydney League. But yeah, it is. I guess like some of the girls in that league, they're just there to play soccer and have a bit of fun. So it's not as serious and competitive, but there's still a lot of them that want to be in W League. So they're all trying to get better and trying to be at that next level to get to W League. So that, you get half probably of the girls, what they want to do with their football, really.
I think
it's almost the two extremes.
I think somewhere, like, obviously now that, so I'm still mind blown that whole 4-month contract thing. It's just like, wow, what the hell. But even then, like, okay, so let's for example say obviously you get paid the 4-month contract for playing the W League. Surely there's a possibility where we can look into in the future where you sign them on a longer contract, and they get these WMPL players, the top of the best players, to come into a camp or a training into the W League system. You know what I mean? Like, obviously they would go on. Obviously they would go on trial. The WMPL players would get trials, but obviously only for the pre-season, leading in, or if there's an injury or whatever. So they're only going to get maybe a week to show the coaches what you've got. Yeah. And if the jump is so big, they're going to be, they're going to be sitting there, obviously going to come in after the first day of training and just go, well, I've got no chance here. What the hell am I doing? I'm wasting time. The gap in the training, and these girls are just at next level. Yeah. Surely we can then, we can sort of we can get something along those lines where we sign the W League girls on a longer contract, and we get into these camps, or we get into longer pre-seasons, or
repurpose them in a more positive way instead of keeping the contract situation as it is.
Yeah, use
like
them
in the same way that who was it? Is it Cass Davis? Is the receptionist at the Jets?
Yeah, she's community and engagement.
Correct.
Yeah, like sort of put them in like other jobs for the the non-4 months of the year that they're playing to and work that into their contract, so they've got quite literally a 12-month contract. Yeah. Like it states.
They're doing stuff. They're going around to the MPL clubs, or they're going around and they're doing training stuff.
Yeah, going out and doing media obligations, promotions, that sort of thing.
Yeah. Whilst they're trying to work on getting the bigger league and the more games and so forth. There has to be surely some way to do that, because 4-month contracts to me is just
stupid.
That's just
it annoys me. Sorry, it's grinding me.
No, but it's wrong. But like even again, obviously you do it because it's the it's the W League. It's obviously, as a professional footballer, you want to be playing some sort of professional football, but surely that in the back of the mind of every W League player, they're looking elsewhere. You know what I mean? In my opinion, you know what I mean? Like, it's cool, I'll sign a 4-month contract or whatever, but as soon as something comes, I'm out. I'm gone. You know what I mean? Like, again, obviously, I have no idea what the contracts are like, but surely that's what in me is that if I was in that situation, I'd be like, all right, I'll sign the 4 months.
You've always got one eye open.
But if an offer comes up from anywhere, I'm gone. Don't try and you've got to see out the last 2 months of your contract or 6 weeks or whatever. I'm out. You've got to be able to let them go, and so forth. But what was I going to say? There was something else I was going to ask. Next year. So what's that? So Zane's back, I believe, as the head coach.
Zane.
What's his name?
No, Ash is staying. He's the head
Ash.
coach.
Yeah, Ash. Yeah. Is Ash staying on as the head coach now?
Oh, not confirmed. Not sure yet.
Confirmed, yeah.
I assume so. Yeah.
Yeah.
As far as I know, she would be, unless anything changes. But yeah, Deansy's not coming back. Obviously
Not coming back,
from last season either. So,
Fair enough. Hello to everyone. Andy Roberts in the chat. Breakers, Newcastle United legend. In the chat, how you going, mate? If you got any questions for Tara in regards to women's football and so forth, your dad's in here, mate.
Oh, that'd be right. Football nut.
What is this? Have you played any other
sporting codes?
I'm guessing that's what it is. Have you played anything else, or have you just pretty much stuck to...
I have. I actually played netball. Well, I did up until probably last year, but played that way before I even started playing soccer, and only decided to stop playing for this year. Got a little bit too much, but I love playing netball, and I do want to try AFL one day. So one day I will.
I'm scared.
Oh, Matt Vandenberg. Matt
Vandenberg has arrived.
Look out. Newcastle Jets serial pest. Matt Vandenberg, first of all, big fan. big fan of Tara's, fair enough. What have you got for us, Matt?
What do you got, Vandy?
This could go anywhere. Thought I was worried when the wife was in here. Matt came in 2 minutes and virtually ruined Branko Kalina's interview with us. One question and then just left, and Branko was just like, wow, that was left field.
Oh gosh. I'm worried now.
Second of all, you can read this one, mate.
All right, so he's gone. Second of all, when Tara was playing for the Northern New South Wales Koalas, what was the difficulty compared to the W League?
Northwest football. Yeah. I think at that stage we're only training twice a week, so it's a big step up to go from that to then training at least 4 times a week, maybe 1 or 2 gym sessions, and then the game on the weekend. The game's a lot faster in W League, so trying to just step up to that next level, it's a lot of work. And as I said before, some of the girls in that league, they're just, staying fit, playing football, having fun. So might not be as serious as what I would take it. But but yeah, back then it was probably a little bit further apart, the 2 leagues, and it's definitely getting closer now.
All right, and now Luke Sports has come in with another one. Who in your opinion, is the best young talent at the Jets?
Ooh.
That's a really good question, Luke.
That is a good one, yeah.
I've got rose-tinted glasses on that one.
I reckon Tessa Tamplin is...
Thank you. That would have been my answer.
Yeah, look, she's an absolute athlete on the field. She can run for days. She's fast. She's got a bit of work to do on her game, touches and stuff like that. But I mean, she's still young, and she's she's got a lot of potential. So I think she'll be the next big star of the Jets.
I
agree with that. That was going to be my answer.
yeah. She's good to watch. She's pretty strong for obviously. She's very strong. Obviously, there's not much of her.
And that peachy goal she scored just before the season shut down. It was magic.
Yeah, it was a banger.
It was magic. And being a fullback myself, you don't get the opportunity to score many like them.
No.
So everyone's special.
She turned around before she went in.
Yeah. I think she thought she'd hit it and just went, sorry, apologies, didn't mean to do that.
Yeah.
Oh, it went in, yes!
Yeah.
All right, you want to finish up Maddie's comment?
All right, what do you say here? Asking because there she scored goals for fun and obviously still talented now, but obviously defenders aren't tougher. Defenders are tougher in the W League.
Oh, yeah? All right.
Jesus, Maddie.
It's far out. Bloody hell, it's another Branko special. Just bang. What else you got? What else you got there, Vandenberg? Gift of the gab. Bloody hell.
I actually saw a photo of him. I think it popped up on my newsfeed today of him in a Jet shirt, and that's a rare find.
That's rare. It is a rare find.
He's generally not wearing one.
Goes to every game, but goes to everything. But he's never really never really donning the Jet stuff. He's always got his scarf on though.
Oh yeah,
always got his scarf on. So obviously you're not sure. Obviously, you want to continue on with the Jets next season. What do you think? Other than internationals, which I think will make a big difference, what do you think the Jets need next? The W League needs. What do you think the girls need next season to compete?
Well, I think we need to do the simple things right. As I said before, we just like our passing. We just decided to be passing to the other team all the time for some reason, and just decision making. And I think if we get that down pat, with the help of some internationals, would be great. And then just believe in ourselves. I think last year we just were like, look, we got no chance. What's the point of even trying? But there's always that underdog that can come through, and as long as we work hard and do the best we can, then I think that would be a lot better than last year if we got to do some of those things.
Yeah, no, absolutely. I think
100%.
I think the who we have on Carl Dodd the other day, and he was saying obviously, Asia in general, whether it be male or female, obviously is a really good. He believes it's a strong market
to look.
And obviously, in a market that doesn't really get a great deal of a look in. So I don't know, maybe.
I suppose it has to sort of line up as well with the W League season as well, because I'm pretty sure the Asian leagues tend to do a calendar season.
Yeah, obviously I'm more. Yeah, obviously you're more thinking of your college girls, your younger girls, and so I suppose to come over and give them a chance. And as I said, they're. I can answer that question from your wife very easily. Oh, okay.
No, it is not. Should it be? Yes.
Oh, the salary cap.
Mm-hmm.
Is the salary cap? Yeah, no, completely
different, Christy.
And again, obviously, that's another issue. Obviously,
sore topic.
Yeah, it is. It is. It's another issue. Obviously, the wage structure is completely different, and again, something else that probably shouldn't be, which is a bit of a shame, but it's hopefully something that, as I said, can be fixed in the coming years. And
yeah, but it's good to see that the PFA and that are starting to fight back on it.
Yeah, which is good. Absolutely fantastic.
And so they should.
So exactly right. So obviously we've gone through. We're going to slowly wrap it all. What do we got here? You can get what we got there.
Oh yeah. Do you think there's enough of a player pool to add more teams into the W League? That's an interesting one.
There's probably been debate about that one, that if they do expand the league, then we might have the quality drop because the player pool's probably not big enough. I think at this point, I probably wouldn't expand it. I think, in a few more years when the Sydney League does get a little bit better, and even the Melbourne NPL gets a bit better, then maybe we can expand it. But at this point in time, I don't think it's the right thing to do. I mean, look, Central Coast maybe can come in as, it's halfway between Newey and Sydney, and there's probably still a lot of girls that are good enough to play in that team, and they'd be competitive. But other than that, I would probably say not just yet.
Yeah, I think there needs to be at least one more side just to get rid of the bye. Because
get rid of the bye.
Exactly.
It's just ridiculous. Like, okay, I get it in the men's league this year because it's only for one season. Next year it goes back to normal. But for the women, it's constant.
Yeah, and I mean, last season we had about a full off because it lined up with Australia Day. Then we had a bye, and then something else was on, and then international break. So we didn't play for a full month in the middle of season.
See, that's not good either, because then they need to be consistently playing. They need to be consistently training in that time, and
that's it. And there's no NPL sides or anything like that playing, obviously, because you can't even really go and have a friendly or anything like that just to keep fit.
But yeah, the idea of an F3 derby for the W League, yes.
F3 derby, yes. Oh, absolutely.
Yeah. But it's the right idea to put a team there, because they're halfway between Newey and Sydney. Or the Sydney Women's League is highly competitive. And those that might be fringes on other, say, Sydney W League teams or even the Jets W League team, could then fill a team to be somewhat competitive in the W League. I think it's just the right move.
They're just not.
I agree.
They're been part of the structure since day one. They should have a side. End of story.
Well,
you know what I mean?
there's
That's
that
the
too.
biggest thing. It's they've gone without, and as I said, it's a disadvantage to them. If anything else, you know what I mean? Like, So yeah, you got anything else in the chat, guys? Before we let Tara go, what do we got
Wife's
here?
come in with another
one. There we go. If there was another club,
you'd like to play for.
I guess she's missing it. Another club you'd like to play for, who would it be?
Well, I guess the obvious choice for everyone would be Melbourne City, just because they've got the most professional setup there, and to be a part of that would be pretty awesome.
Yep,
I've seen it firsthand. It's at my work.
Yeah, I was going to say
I've seen the women's facilities that the City W League have because it's at my work.
It's tight, isn't it? Nice structure.
They've rebuilt it all over the past 12 months.
Yeah, so it's immaculate.
They've got their own gyms and everything there.
What was what was playing with Emily like in Egmont?
Yeah, good. Obviously, she's a very good player. I played with her for a fair few years now, from the start of Jets, and she's been in and out. So yeah, she's great to play with and learn from as a player. And it was sad to see her not play for the Jets this year. We obviously missed her a lot, but yeah, she's a great player to play with. That's for sure. She can slip you through some good balls up front.
Yeah, we gave her a bit of shade when we went down and watched them play.
Jeff
played
good.
A big smirk on her face like she's in the court.
She knew.
So that's good. She was a good sport.
She even scored against us in the first game.
Yeah, I know.
Oh.
Yeah, but there was no celebration. I can't remember. I don't think there was.
No,
I think
but she smirked at us beforehand, but wouldn't look at us afterwards.
Yeah, she wasn't too. Yeah,
she wasn't impressed.
Doing the right thing, but at the same time felt bad.
She was very professional.
Yeah.
Other than that, look, as I said, hopefully you get the contract sorted, obviously sooner rather than later, and we can obviously move forward, obviously with a better contracts.
Yep.
I think that's the biggest thing for me to take out of this, because I didn't know that. I was expecting 6 months at a minimum.
Yeah.
But obviously another good topic we can obviously talk about obviously down the track, and hopefully something that can get changed ASAP like that.
100%.
That needs to be changed, because surely there's things that you guys can be doing,
and that they can offer the club as well,
and just Australians in general. Females in general, from the little kids to from what do they call it, the mini roos or whatever it is, the mini socceroos or. Ben's daughter's just popped her head in. She's interested. She's interested.
It's because she's going to bed. That's why.
Oh, she's going to bed now. Bedtime.
Yeah.
No,
she's got to go to school tomorrow, mate.
Oh, back to school tomorrow. Yes. How good's that? But look, we're going to leave it there, guys. I think we've had enough. I think it is. I can't. I'm too scared to think what else. My wife's searching on internet into women's football.
But again, they're questions that need to be answered.
No, absolutely, no, 100%.
But 150%, the contract situation is in the W League. After hearing that, is diabolical.
Yes,
it's not right. It's not right.
No, 100%. Like, I can't imagine. I suppose, it's one of those things. Obviously, the gap again between the W League and the MLS. Not the MLS, the Premier League. Obviously, the Women's Premier League.
Oh yeah.
Oh, even the American. Is again completely different. The standard, like even when you're over in the college system, what was the comparison like to say the W League here? It's completely different. Was it very?
Yeah, it's a different game over there. I feel like they're all about running. What's just obviously very fit Americans are. So it's a different game. It's just like less tactical. Just balls forward in behind, everyone running as far as you can. So it is different, and it's hard to compare. It's probably maybe a little bit lower than W League.
Yeah.
But it would have been definitely better than the NPL.
Yeah. Luke's chimed in there. We'll say, how many games should the W League be? Well, what is there? There's 8 teams, I think, in the comp at the moment. 8 or 9.
No, there's an odd number because you got buys.
Oh, 9. So it'll be 9 because Canberra
There's
made
9,
Yeah. It's obviously you'd either 10.
10
10
play each other
Central
twice.
Coast come in. That's 20 games.
10 play each other twice.
So at least.
Yeah,
20.
at least 2 full rounds. You know,
Yeah,
we currently play half the league once and half the league twice, so it's not ideal. And they do that because the NWSL is on, and they don't want to not have those internationals coming in to play. Otherwise, you know, it'd be purely an Australian league, and we wouldn't have internationals. So well, we wouldn't have American internationals at least. I mean, we don't get English people anyway, but yeah, that's their reasoning behind it, I think. Yeah,
right. It's just, sort of, I don't know. It just makes it difficult, you know what I mean? Yeah. Like, if you we'll say for example, like obviously we'll poor this season, and City played us twice. Yeah. We were dominant. Yeah. So we're having a poor run, so that means they've essentially got 2 easy games.
Whereas if we'd have played Adelaide twice, who were on the same amount of points as what the Jets women finished on. I think we did play
twice. I think that's the team.
Yeah, but you understand what I'm trying to say there. But like, it's an easier game for our girls to grab points. Yeah, you know what I mean.
Yeah. See, that to me, that's just crazy because
And of course, it's all like randomly done. But is it really randomly done?
I'm sure it's randomly done.
We'll put our tinfoil hats on.
Who knows?
Yeah.
We'll put the tinfoil hats on. Yeah. But I'm surprised, mate, that you brought up the Women's English Premier League, considering the news you found out that your girls got relegated.
Yeah, mine didn't. I'm not going to go into that. It's completely different. We weren't even doing that bad, and somehow we got relegated. Anyway, we're not going down that road. But obviously, it's good to see Sam Kerr first year in the Premier League and wins a title. Only played like 10 games or something, but anyway. I'm not going into it. Still
not bad for getting the league title or whatever it was called.
Absolutely. Like, it didn't even play a full season in the W League structure, and she comes out with a title, and bloody, I'm sure it was a nice bonus. Yeah. I'm sure it was a nice bonus from Chelsea, because obviously if you win, you get the bonuses and all the flourishes to come with it. So, winning.
Good on her. She knows how to pick it.
Absolutely. So, the wife makes my blood boil.
Nah.
There you go. No, absolutely. It's been an absolute pleasure, Tara, for having you on. We do thank you for jumping on a Monday night. We
on a public holiday too.
On a public holiday, absolutely. You've been at work all weekend.
Weekend, yeah. Oh.
Some of us have to do it. No, absolutely.
No, I really enjoyed it. Thanks, guys.
No, absolutely.
No, it's amazing.
As I said, we've been itching to get a female on just to get a bit of an insight into obviously how the W League works, because as I said, even the publicity of it isn't crash hot and isn't great. No. And obviously, as I said, guys, it's hard for us obviously being in Melbourne. We do our bit when you guys come down here, but for the guys and girls in the chat, obviously, make sure you do get to obviously all the W League games next season.
Get down at number 2 sports ground.
Number 2 sports ground, I think it's great for them to be playing at. I think it's they call it, it's your own. You know what I mean? Like, I'm sure it's great playing at Energy Australia.
I like it better than the stadium.
Yeah, I think it's
more personal.
As good as it is, playing obviously at Energy Australia Stadium, sweet as.
It's a big stadium, but it's a big empty stadium.
Yeah, it makes it very empty, obviously, when you're not getting many there, and everything else. Double headers, same thing. Make sure you get down and support the girls, obviously, for the double headers as well. Don't just wait for the males.
Don't wait at the pub. Go to the stadium. You can buy beer at the stadium.
Absolutely. If it's at Energy Australia, it's the cheapest beers in the bloody A League.
And if it's down here in Melbourne, it's the only place you can get full strength beer at a stadium.
Absolutely. But yeah, look, as I said, hopefully the contracts come through soon, and you're back in the Jet shirt next year, scoring plenty of goals. In a much stronger competitive season for the girls. But look, as I said, muchly appreciate for having you on. Look, it might look at getting you back on, obviously, later in the year and so forth, and we've got a bit more of a understanding of what's going on with the W League, when it's going ahead and whatever, and so forth. And
we'll chat with Laurie and Declan.
Channel Florian League. Make it happen. Make it happen. Nah, too easy. Thank you very much, Tara, for jumping on, and we'll speak to you soon.
Thanks for having me, guys.
No worries.
No, thank you.
Well, there you have it. I am
blown away.
Oh, yeah. That amazes me. It's one thing I've never really thought of asking because I just instantly thought that 6 months. You know what I mean? Like,
yeah.
Like, I knew that it wouldn't be 12 months. I knew that. I knew that. But I just thought, okay,
4 months.
6 months, cut it down, be done with it.
It's disgusting.
Four weeks of preseason.
Disgusting.
You get paid for 4 weeks of preseason, but they do much more than that.
What I want to know is if this is regulated and this criteria of this is 4 months, is whether it's dictated by the club or if it's dictated by the FFA. That's what I want to know.
Yeah. If
it's an FFA thing, then the clubs have basically got their hands tied.
Yeah.
It's to the point where anyone who's earning under X amount on a contract has to go 4 months.
That's not even.
If that's the case, FFA, you stingy pricks, fix it.
But as Lucius said, 4 months. It's not even a contract.
Yeah, it's
that's like. What's the point of a contract? It's not even a contract.
And unfortunately, it's a part-time job.
That's
probably doing full-time hours.
Well, 100% doing full-time hours. You got to juggle.
Okay, so yes, it would be full-time hours because when you work in training, you work in your travel, you work in accommodation in not at home.
Yeah.
But
obviously, you work it out. You're up at Sparrowfart or whatever it is. Even if you might not have a morning session or whatever it is, you know.
No, and who said that to us the other month? We had somebody on. They turned around and said, "No, the girls work basically 9 to 5, and then they start training at like 6 o'clock."
Yeah, correct. Yeah.
Because they all work full time.
Yeah. All they just play for 4 months. Yeah. We play longer game. We play more games now. I think we've got an 18-game season, so we play longer seasons than the WMP. Interesting to see how many games the WMPL gets. Actually, that'd be intriguing.
That's your wife. Goes to show that sexism is still very prevalent. I don't think that. Yeah. I don't think it's based on that.
Yeah.
I think it's without the men, the women doesn't function. Like they go hand in hand with each other. If that makes any sense.
Yeah. Look, it's the men right now. The women need the males.
Yeah.
For the simple fact that it's just the way it is.
Hey, Lockie.
Hopefully later on down the track, it's not like that, and they don't rely on the males as much.
Yeah.
I still think it's just one of those things, though. It's
not right.
It's not right.
It's not right.
Even the Premier League, even the MLS now, right? The LS, I think it is. I think it's the women's WA.
USN.
Whatever the American structure is.
Yeah, I've forgotten how to do
whatever the American structure is. But 10 years ago, it was dominant. It was bigger than the men's.
It still is to a point.
Not as much now.
Some clubs it is.
No, because in some clubs they're individually run. That's the
some are individually run. Some are still part of the core franchise, but they have a different name, like Portland.
Yeah, so the women's LA Galaxy aren't the women's LA Galaxy. They're completely different. I think it's the Los Angeles something else. But
are they owned by the Galaxy?
Correct. They're owned, but they have their own. You're not needed by the men.
Yeah.
Whatever you earn, whatever you get, is on your back. You suffer on your own. The men don't suffer. The men suffer, you don't suffer.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, it's individually sort of.
Portland's the same. Portland Thorns, which is the women's side, is owned by the Portland Timbers.
Yeah.
But they don't have the same name. They don't play at the same stadium. I think the Portland Thorns play at a repurposed American football stadium. Gridiron thing. I don't know what the sport is.
NFL.
Yeah, NFL thing.
Yeah.
They play at one of those stadiums because you can still see like the old line markings on the ground, and it's
100%.
And it's an artificial pitch too.
Artificial pitch, yeah, exactly right. Could possibly start the W League early, maybe something like that. Yeah, of course.
I think the FFA is scared to do something like that because it affects the men.
Well, no, as I think Tara was just saying as well, is it structured like that for the simple at that time and everything because
they want the American
girls in
here.
They want the American girls in, and because the Americans, the women's league over there is only it's like the metal, not the men here, but like the Premier League and stuff like that. They've only got like a 3-month window or something off, but at the same time they don't want them sitting around doing nothing.
Yeah, so they come across to the W.
So they might. If the team's struggling or whatever it is, they're sitting low of the pack, they're not got no way of making finals in America, they'll release them early and they'll send them over here.
Yeah.
But if they're in the final series, that's why you see some of the Americans
join quite late
because they're still in that competition. And then obviously, same thing if they don't make the finals or whatever it is.
But it's a dual sort of positive relationship that we have, or that the W League has with the American Women's League, is that they send here, but when we're off as well and they start, we send there. And there's been, of course, tons of...
the biggest problem with that is, but not enough.
Yeah,
only the elite, right? They will only take the elite W League players. And I think that's wrong. They're lucky enough where I still believe, I don't think that's that second division still in play, but I do believe there is another W League, another second division.
Yeah, there is.
So they should be sending them there.
Yeah,
you know what I mean. There should be a thing go right. Okay, cool. We'll take you. You're going on the top flight, but you guys are definitely good enough. You guys can go here and be done with it.
Yeah. Big Bash Cricket, the women had their own standalone season before the men's season started. Yeah.
I like a lot of sports. Same with the rugby league. The women's rugby league have got their own little segment. The AFL have got their own. They've got their own segment or whatever it is beforehand. Same thing though. Same thing. It's only about 10 games or 12 games or something like that. They play each other twice, but again, it's only along those lines. 14 games or something.
You got to start somewhere.
But that's the thing. Yeah, exactly.
But we've started, but we haven't progressed.
Exactly. It's the same. So
as a league. It's gotten to a point and it's just stagnated there.
Yeah, and what was it? 2009?
Yeah.
Roughly. 2009. She was 15 first season.
Yeah.
So she's been there since the start. So 2009 to 2020, nothing's changed.
Yeah.
It's still the same. I'm sure a little bit's changed. Obviously, they're
probably... Of course.
They're probably getting a little bit more in the facilities and the training and everything else has got a lot better.
Yeah.
But they're not getting what they should.
Yeah. They're still not getting what they should.
That's the biggest one for us. As I said, hopefully we'll be able to speak to Tara and hopefully she'll be able to give us some names of a few others, which we can get on and obviously talk a little bit about their time at the Jets and wherever else they've been. If we can find someone who's even been to another A League club, W League club.
Yeah.
And just see what the difference is. See what the comparisons are. You know what I mean? Like, what was it like in wherever? Perth, you went to Perth. What was it like over there compared to here? Was it the same sort of thing? Is the training facility?
Christy, they're not limited to American international players. They can go anywhere to get them, to get any players.
Oh, yeah.
But it's the way that the American Women's League is structured versus how the W League is structured. They're structured to be opposite from each other. So when the American Women's League finishes, they've got like a 3 or 4 month gap between their season starts back up, and that's generally when the W League happens in that 3 to 4 month period. So instead of sitting around for 3 or 4 months in America, they come across to here, play in the W League because it's a short season, and then that's basically their preseason, call it what you may, before they go back to the US. Yeah, that'd be an interesting one, Lockie. Yeah,
if you've got a contact, sort that out. If you've got contacts, you chase them for me. Muchly appreciated. But yeah, as well,
I know a couple. I've got a couple.
Yeah,
for the women.
Oh.
Maybe not all of them ex-Jets, but
No,
have been at multiple W League clubs.
And they don't have to be the Jets. Like, as I said, it's no different than the men. Like, we would love to speak to Jets players, male and female, every week.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, it doesn't happen that way. Unfortunately, everyone's busy and so forth. So at the end of the day, we try to give you a football podcast.
Yeah.
At the end of the day, that's what it's all about. We want to talk football. We want to talk the ins and outs. Even from a Jets point of view,
the experiences.
What are other clubs doing that we're not?
Yeah.
It's a good insight to see from past players. Current players won't really say much because they're not allowed to. They're contracted. And
yeah. They have media obligations.
But players who have played the game and are out of the game now, whatever it is, what was life like? Oh, we had this and everything else and shit like. And then you guys, obviously, as Jets fans and so forth, can sit there and go, shit, we don't have that.
Yeah.
Why don't we have that?
Why don't we do that?
Why did they get that? Why can't we get that? Or friggin', fuck, why have we got that but they don't?
Yeah.
These little things, obviously, that we would, we as well as I said, we'd love to speak to Jets players every week. It's just unfortunate. It's just, look, hopefully down the track it'll happen. But
there are guidelines, rules, procedures, and policies in place to those that are current contract holders.
Would you take an AFL women's player? They've got to be able to play the game. As I said, there's I can't remember her name. But she can play. She plays cricket for Australia. She plays AFL for Australia, and she plays football.
Yeah,
can't remember her name. She had to give at least. I think she gave one of them away.
I think she gave soccer away.
But if they're talented enough and they've got the skill and they're good at it, they're not going to not look at them.
Yeah.
So it doesn't matter what other sport they play. Tara saying she likes AFL.
She plays netball.
Netball. If she's good enough at it, netball or whatever it is, to be picked up by a decent netball side or whatever, and they pay more and everything else, she's gone.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like,
and this is why the W League and the FFA got their knickers in a twist a few years ago when AFLW started.
Yeah.
Because AFLW were going to W League players going, we can offer you more if you come and play AFL.
Correct.
And of course, FFA went, oh shit.
Yeah. Exactly.
Oh shit.
Exactly right. It's just one of those things. But back to your question about the internationals. As I said, it's an international window. We can sign anywhere we want.
We can sign anywhere.
But as I said, you've just heard it firsthand. Who's going to sign for a 4-month contract?
That's the other side of the coin.
You know what I mean? Like, I couldn't
Only
imagine...
people who are sitting around for 4 months who want a 4-month contract.
Yeah, who are getting nothing, or they're sitting on a full-term contract.
Here it is. Holiday, getting paid for it, and still keeping fit and playing competitive football.
See, they'd have to be loan deals.
And that's why they are. They loan deals. But they're still paying for them.
Yeah. But you are contracted.
Accommodation and shit.
But 90%. But that's the thing, though. They're still getting paid 70+% from their original club. And then us would go, right, well, we'll cover your accommodation and we'll give you a car for 4 months to drive around in and whatever and all this shit. That's we'll cover that part and a little bit of their wage.
While still trying to be under the cap.
Exactly. While still trying to be under the cap. A lot of the players just look at it and just go, yeah, no, I'm good, thanks.
Yeah, they don't want to do it.
Well, I'm not going out for 4 months. Bugger that.
Yeah.
Like,
if it was...
Maybe if they're later in their career or whatever it is and it's... Or they're very young.
Different.
Or they're very young. College.
Yeah.
Maybe. It's an experience, gets me out of the country, freaking see a little bit of the world.
Something different.
Sweet. But it's only for 4 months. I'm not even going to miss a year of it. I'm still young. Sweet as. I'm not getting any older. I'll be out of the game soon. It's an experience. Stuff it, I'll go do it.
Yeah.
But if you're right in your prime, if you're in Tara's situation where she's 26, you don't want to be there.
No. You want to be in England. You want to be in Germany. You want to be in the US.
Yeah, it's Europe and the US. That's pretty much it in general. You clearly seen it. It's right there in front of you. She took a year off, no work, no nothing, concentrated solely on football and come out of that competition as the most valuable player and friggin' the Golden Boot winner.
Mm-hmm.
And then, off the back of that, because of her achievements, picks up 2 caps for the Matildas.
Yeah.
She hasn't picked up another cap for the Matildas. Why? Because she's doing so much effort and she's putting in so much work and she's getting no reward from it.
Mm.
Because nobody can work 5 days a week and whatever, and then train and study and do whatever else they're doing and whatever. As I said, like, she's got a carpool now just to get a wage, and she would have only gone to Sydney because they pay more.
Well, they're paying.
Well, she'll get to wage. The W League girls will get paid, but nowhere near as much because it's a completely different standard of league. So you've got to go. So now it's you finish work, you're then going to get in a car for an hour and a half minimum
to go to Sydney to train.
To go to Manly, which is the other side of Sydney. And then train,
and then drive back,
go to work the next day, have a day off, obviously, but we'll say it's a Wednesday, and then get back at the same thing on the Thursday, and then travel halfway around Sydney.
And then travel somewhere else in Sydney for a game.
Yeah, it's crazy.
And they're still travelling to Sydney every week because it doesn't matter whether the game's home or away, they've still got to travel an hour and a half for it.
Absolutely. So it takes up your weekend. It's a pain in the ass. I couldn't imagine a lot of them just going down to Sydney for the weekend. Every weekend, just staying Saturday night somewhere. Cheap hotel or friggin' mates for me. We've got teammates, so stay at the mates' place on the floor, I'm guessing. And
which is not ideal. Could you imagine the men trying to do that? The club would turn around and go, "Oh no, you're not doing that."
Oh, but no, would you interview? Oh, look, whatever. I'm not. As I said, it's a podcast. We haven't limited ourselves to football or whatever. I would get Donald Trump on here if he wanted to. Bag the shit out of him until he hung up the phone. Maybe a minute. You probably like
30 seconds if I was asking.
So why are you a cunt? Hello? Well, that didn't go well. Yeah, look, whatever.
How good would it be with an F3 Derby double header? What would be even better, mate, is an F3 Derby triple header.
Absolutely.
Youth.
Yep.
Women.
Yep.
Men's.
Absolutely.
You've got like 8 hours or 9 hours of football there.
Absolutely. Lower the price of beers, it'd maybe set.
Why wouldn't you?
Absolutely.
I'd go.
And
I'd watch all
shit.
three. I'd probably be drunk by halfway through the first one, but...
And then play the shit at number 2 Sports Ground.
Yeah, do it at number 2
where
it's a bit more...
And the crowd will be packed. Still, you go to the football at Energy Australia Stadium, it's not packed. Even just to watch the men. It's...
different.
Yeah, different.
It's an idea.
It's an idea, yeah.
Laurie.
Yeah.
Get on it.
Yeah. That's the same thing, though, friggin' the game. They don't really... they play on different Sundays, usually. The NPL. Youth. Usually.
Oh, yeah, usually. We can do a bit of jigging.
You'd freaking think so. It's our northern New South Wales. Newcastle Jets are coming to the northern New South Wales as the freaking number 1 team in Newcastle.
We're not northern anymore, are we? We're Sydney now. We're in Sydney now. But they still have to travel to go to those games. They'd still have to travel to come to those games, home games for the Jets.
Sydney FCs, Western Sydney Wanderers, triple headers.
Yeah.
Why not?
Why has nobody thought of this?
Yeah, exactly right. Or give me a good reason why you think it's too hard if you haven't thought of it.
Give me a decent reason. You can't tell me that it's because of infrastructure. TV's infrastructure either, because it'd all be at number 2 Sports Ground from when they do when they broadcast the W League game.
Yeah.
So don't tell me that there's no infrastructure there. The only thing that I could think of is that for the men they have to limit it because of capacity of number 2.
Number two Sports Ground holds like 30,000 people.
Does it actually?
Yeah. Yes. There's just not as many seats. It's all grass. A lot of it's all grass. It's got a massive grandstand.
Well, bring a bloody blanket.
Grass. Yeah, but it's like that. It's not flat grass. It's on the hill.
Bring a blanket.
Absolutely.
Bring a blanket. People do it at the men's game on the versus sitting on the hill.
Exactly right. No, it's whatever it is. It's like 30,000 seats. It's massive. 30 might be a bit extreme, but it's definitely over 20.
It depends what the council dictate can
it's
realistically hold.
It's a lot more than what we would fill it.
Yeah.
It's that simple.
Yeah.
If we had 11,000 members...
Laurie. Get on it.
If we had 11,000 members, plus whatever team we were playing...
Chris, guaranteed a game would be near capacity if we played there.
Absolutely.
Good.
Absolutely. And that's what it is. What's the difference? Like, what is the difference?
Could play the men's game at number 1, have the women and the youth at number 2.
We played all at number 1. Why do we need... Number one must be big. Oh, yeah, must be talking number one. Actually, Luke, while you're there, or Chris, one of you, can you get the capacities of those two? Number one and number two sports.
Yeah, there you go, Chris. They had like 20,000 for the local rugby league grand final.
Yeah, and it's packed. You can't move it. You can't move. Like,
do it.
That's sneaking in bloody grog into your undies.
Don't.
That's like, because you can't get to the bloody bar. Like, it's crazy.
A bit like State League 1.
Yeah, would be. Maitland Showground, absolutely. Same thing. There's big enough stadiums to host it.
Yeah.
You know?
The other reason I thought number 2 would be easy is because they've already got the TV infrastructure there.
Yeah, well,
and they need that.
They'll have it at number 1. They've got number 2. Number 1's the big one.
Yeah.
But yeah, if you can find out what the stadium capacities are off the top of his head, so we're not using the bloody keyboard that friggin' sounds like a freight train.
Hey, it's my keyboard.
Yeah, I know, I'm just saying.
I like it clicky. I like it clicky.
But you don't like it clicky.
I do like it clicky.
But yeah, look, as I said, it's one of those things where we it needs to change, and I think I might speak to Laurie in regards to getting him on for a small segment, not an hour segment, just to talk about that. Edgeworth vs Newcastle, and the cut was so good
because it was. Oh yeah, they played that at number 2, didn't they?
Yeah, and they played at Edgeworth.
Oh yeah, that's right.
Played at Edgy. Yeah. Yeah, right. Alanet. Yeah, like again, like Maitland Sports Ground, I'm going to say is probably about 15,000 maybe. But again, 15,000 people. If it sells out, tough titties. What's the problem?
You'll still get people complaining, but people will always complain.
Again, if you work it out, how many members did we get this year? 9,000?
Yeah, there was like 6,000 or 7,000 at Edgy. Sup, Timmy boy? How goes things in the US?
Hey, what's going on, Timmy?
We're talking about the US Women's League before.
Hey, you just missed out, yeah.
Is it DC United?
DC United, yeah, I know. But yeah, obviously, it sells out. Who gives a shit? That's a good thing.
That's a good thing.
And that's it, you know. Okay, sweet as. You've got 9,000 members who have tickets.
No, you have 9,000 members, and I can tell you right now, 9,000 of them aren't going to every game.
No, exactly right. But that's what I'm saying, though. So, what I'm saying, you've got 9,000 members.
What have you done, Lockie? Messages.
Messages, don't put it on here.
Messages, don't put it on here.
Don't.
Messages.
God's sake. Just like we're getting ready for work. Good on you, mate. Someone's got to do it.
Well, mate, listen to this one back, because we were talking to one of the Jets female players here who actually played in the 2nd Division Women's League over there in the US for a club that's now defunct. She played for Colorado Pride.
Colorado Pride. Andy Morse. How are you, buddy?
Andy Morse. Hello, Andy. Shit, I was meant to ring him back.
He'll ring you after this. As he's just remembered he was meant to ring you back. Yeah, just remembered
that he rang me the other day.
Number 1.
Pating. I have a pating. That was a you having a pating.
That was a me having a pating.
That was a you having a pating. Was it a me having a pating?
Yeah.
Yeah. He sent it to me too.
Yeah, so was it number 1?
Number 1 is 20,000.
Had 20,000?
Had 20,000.
Number 2, 5,000. Yeah, so number 1, yeah. So, yeah,
you'd have to play it at number 1.
Yeah, so number 1's 20,000. We ain't filling that.
No, but at the same point, the girls want to play at number 2. You don't necessarily want to rip them out.
But it doesn't matter. No, but it doesn't matter. You're talking about a one-time fixture.
Yeah.
And you go MPL, men, W League. Right? It's your home ground. Your home game. And you play the men second. So the crowd's there.
Crowd's already there, yeah.
The crowd's there. So they're not going to... Okay, some will probably leave because they've got other commitments or whatever it is. But majority will wait.
Yeah,
stay.
If they're already there, they'll
more than what they would if it was roles reversed and the women they would just rock up 5 minutes to finish the game. Yeah, bugger that.
Yeah,
the game's already watched. If they're on a high and we've just demolished whoever we've played in the men, hell yeah, we're on a high. Let's go. Let's pump it.
Yeah.
Or you know, if it was a close one, or even if it was a loss, some of them will probably be like, oh well, shit, we're here.
Yeah, you may as well. We're here.
You know what I mean? I think they need to let the women play last.
No, Chris. We've already got enough. Is Chris on Discord?
Yeah.
Is he?
Yeah. It's called the Real Dads Group. We'd invite you, but we don't know if you're the real dad.
Maitland's 8,000. So Maitland's too small.
Yeah. But again, for just the W League and the MPL, fine.
Yeah, but that's not the point of it.
Yeah. So they need to play it at number 1. 20,000, that's plenty. They would fill that on a good day. Good day. And that's just...
I'd fly up for it. I'd fly up for it.
But whatever it is, but that's the thing, you know what I mean? Like, you would play that against a side outside of Sydney. A Brisbane, a Perth, or something, where they're not going to get massive away fans who would chew all the tickets.
No, but...
You played that against Sydney.
Yeah.
Or Western Sydney on a Friday or a Saturday.
You'd have to do it on a Saturday or a Sunday.
You'd have to do it a Sunday.
No, you'd have to do it a Saturday.
I reckon if you'd done that on a Saturday against Western Sydney Wanderers, they'd bring 10,000 people.
Yeah.
If it's a triple header against their own side,
yeah,
they will bring 10,000 people. So which means,
Coast.
Huh?
Do it against Coast.
Yeah, but see, then same thing. I reckon
we'd fill it, but they wouldn't bring.
Yeah, but they wouldn't bring it. I know that.
Even if we do give it to them for free, they won't bring it.
Yeah, but you've got to allocate them tickets.
Well, yeah.
You have to go to the club and go, there's your tickets for your away bay. Which means they'd have to sanction something for an away bay.
Yeah, Luke, if the Jets are second, 15k or more. If we are losing, 8k.
Yeah. No, you're probably better right.
I wouldn't even go that far.
Yeah.
I wouldn't say that much even if we were second.
Yeah.
I wouldn't even say that much.
Yeah, look.
I'd go 12 max.
Yeah. Again, the max members we've had is like 11,000 or whatever it is. So the fact that what we've been doing lately and shit like that, I can't imagine
getting any more.
Especially next season. Everyone's going to be real tight with their money next year.
Yeah.
Or the end of this year. Coming into Christmas and everything else.
I'll still pay my $9.
Yeah. They don't get
twice.
But yeah, look, it's something that now I think we need to talk to Laurie about, and it needs to happen. And you know, I just don't see why we can't have a triple header.
Yeah, no, I agree.
What's the difference? Even if it's the NPL hasn't started yet.
Yeah,
I can't remember when they start. Whether it's even if it's a pre-season game.
Yeah, exactly.
Right, they're having a friendlies. They're not expecting them to get.
Yeah.
We're not expecting them to get big numbers.
Yeah.
It's only a friendly. But the girls will be there.
Yeah, exactly.
Or whoever's playing the middle game, the men will be there. They've got to be there. They've got to get ready for training. They've got to get their shit on. They've got to be an hour minimum beforehand, whatever. They'll be there, so they'll watch a bit of it.
Yeah.
And, you know.
Yeah, but the focus in all this is the women, though.
Exactly. That's what I'm saying.
The focus on that triple header is not for the men.
No, that's what I'm saying. They need to be the final, the head.
They need to be, They need
the final game.
Yeah.
It needs to be, 2 p.m, 5 p.m, 7:30. Women.
Yeah.
Bang. Away you go. 5 o'clock kickoff for the men. It's televisable for sport or whatever.
Yeah, 5 or 5:25 whatever it is.
And then the women 7:25 afterwards. Bang, done.
Yeah.
It's feasible. It's easy to happen. And yeah.
We do it against Adelaide.
Yeah, but that's what I'm saying. It needs to be against the longer sides where they're only going to bring a handful of players across, and the ones that may live here.
Robbie would travel for a game like that.
Absolutely.
From Adelaide.
If his 3 teams were playing in the one spot,
Robbie would travel for something like that.
Absolutely. A lot of fans would.
And he'd push the Red Army to travel too.
Yeah, but a lot of fans would.
Yeah.
A lot of the true fans who pay their money each week, and support the boys. You Matt Vandenbergs for other clubs and all that sort of shit. They'll travel.
Every club's got a Matt Vandenberg.
Absolutely. And they will travel and they will push the boys. Right, guys, tour of duty. We're going. Triple header.
It's a local tour of duty.
You know what I mean?
But you make it.
I'm talking about
other clubs
and shit.
Yeah.
Right, we're going. This is it. You know what I mean? We're on the piss from 10. First game's at 1.
Only 10?
Absolutely. Mate, I didn't see you getting up
Earlier!
I didn't see you up before 10.
No, I would do something like that.
Most people get served a coffee in bed. I have to serve Ben a friggin' scotch just to wake him up.
I'd still get up and do it though. It's football.
Hot
I'd get up.
toddy.
You've seen me. I get up for football.
Hot toddy in the mornings.
I get up for football, and you know it.
10,000. Brisbane moved
3 games to Dolphin Stadium, sold them all out. Yeah, but
exactly right.
it's the same sort of issue. When Brisbane play at Suncorp, it's a cavern.
Yeah,
it's empty. It's empty. It was when we went 3 years ago on the jury duty.
Yeah, it was.
It was more of us than them.
Shit.
We made more noise than what they did.
Yeah.
Cooper's is prime.
Oh,
Cooper's is fucking
be,
sweet.
I'll be
Cooper's
there'll
is
be
sweet.
another one next year. Definitely doing Adelaide again for sure.
Mrs. and I want to do Wellington or Perth.
Yeah, no, Perth's good. Perth's good. Oh, Tim Pot. Tim Pot's not bad.
Tim Pot.
Yeah.
Who's the Tim Pot?
Wellington. Tim Pot.
You mean the cake tin?
Tim Pot. I call it Tim Pot.
Cake tin.
No, it's a Tim Pot.
It's the cake tin.
They call it the Tim
Tim
Pot.
Pot of the coast. We had this discussion the other day on the phone.
You call it the Tim Pot men over there in Wellington.
The cake,
They
tin pot.
No, the Tin Pots. They're called the Tin Pots. They got a little group. They're called the Tin Pots.
Oh wow!
It's called the Tin Pots.
I think every club's got their own set of tin pots.
They do. They should the coast. The team who's got the sauce bottles.
Right, we're waffling now. You know what that means.
Sauce bottles at the ready. You can't get much better than that. Sauce bottles, cannons, and palm trees.
And that bee thing that holds up a sign.
Oh, what the fuck is that? Does anyone know what that mascot is? Although we don't have a mascot. We don't really have a mascot.
We
We have Jetman.
We have Jetman.
Jetman.
Jetwoman.
It's like Buzz Lightyear without the wings.
Oh my god. At least we've got one.
Stole that off sense.
At least we've got one.
Yeah. Oh, fucking buzzing again. Why? Who's messaging? What's going on here? Oh.
What are you doing, Lockie?
Right. Oh, Chris, you're missing out, mate. You're missing out on this.
You're missing
The
it.
dad's chat's amazing.
Dad's chat.
The real dad's chat.
I want to know how he's got in
Jets
touch
man.
so quick and got a yes so quick.
Jets man and Jets girl. That's beautiful. Central Coast Mariners away. Love it.
That's the reply.
You'll find mine. Bloody beautiful.
Well done, Lock.
Yeah, good on you, Lock. Absolutely, team player. And that's what you get at Gabriel Murray Optometrist, Jasmine. Be sure to go give the guys a look in. Claps away. Yeah, be sure to go down and see Lockie and his dad for all your eye care plus needs. And as well as the... There it is. Ben loves his little game show host. Ding, 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 ding. Giveaway. We are going to give this away sooner rather than later. The only reason we haven't really looked at locking it in as of yet is because the engagement hasn't been crash hot.
Yeah.
And I'm not 100% sure why.
Well, yeah. How can you say no to free things?
Like, for the simple fact where a lot of you have obviously already subscribed.
Mm-hmm.
Thank you very much for that. I'm sure a lot of you have already liked the Facebook page. Thank you again for that. Most people have to do is just tag mates. Because without you guys tagging your mates, I don't know whether you have done it.
Yeah.
And I don't know who I'm putting into the draw. So that's the biggest thing, guys. So if you haven't already, make sure you go tag your mates. If you have, tag loads of your mates.
We don't want people knowing.
What was I going to say? Yeah, so if you haven't already, make sure you jump into the Facebook, find the link down below, and tag away.
Tag away.
Tag all your mates in it. I don't care right now. I don't care right now. Just tag all your friends in it. whole Facebook list.
How can you say no to a free pair of glasses?
Absolutely. Right now, you've made Ben's work.
What?
6 lines and 6 names probably in a spreadsheet to draw out.
Yep.
You're making it nice and easy for him. We want hundreds. We want Ben sitting there at bloody midnight after he's finished his stream on Corner Flag Games going, alright.
Thanks for the plug.
Where was I? Yeah, because I plug all Ben's shit on my channel.
What? No, I don't. I did yours.
Every time. Be sure to go over and check Corner Flag Games. Oh, we're vibrating. Have you got the YouTube? There it is.
Working on it.
We don't have Crossbar Corner Flag Games. Huh. Maybe we don't. What have we got there? What's this group? But yeah, look, as I said, guys, make sure you guys go in there. And
there it is.
Took its time, but alright. Be sure to go, tag all your friends and everything else in the chat. In the chat. In the link. In that post that's on there. It's probably about 6
You will find it at facebook.com/Crossbar Capers.
There you go. So yeah, go over and check that out, guys. It is muchly appreciated. Thanks again to obviously Luke, Lockie, obviously, Chris, everyone else who's been in here as well. It's muchly appreciated.
Joe was in here, your mum was in here, your wife, my
dad.
Dad.
My dad was in here as well, I think, at one point.
Pete, Joey,
Laura,
Vandy, of course,
the serial
Andy.
pest. Andy Roberts, absolutely. Tommy Rogers.
James was in here, Liam Sweeney.
Blake was in here as well. So yeah, thanks to everyone, obviously, for jumping in. We hope
Timmy Woods all the way from America.
Absolutely, wake him up. Should be an alarm from a.
Well, he's on his way to work, so.
Friday, yeah, absolutely. Hopefully, we'll get more females on the show to talk a little bit, obviously, about the W League and football in general. Obviously, the coming weeks, we should have hopefully an answer about the World Cup.
Mm-hmm.
Hopefully, all things go well there, and we get obviously the World Cup here, which will make things fantastic.
Yeah.
Not so much for my wallet and the wife, because the wife will probably come. Because it's W League and it's women's football, so she'll be all over that.
Yeah, she will.
Tour Australia,
I'll drag mine
Matildas play. Happy days. All for that.
Take it easy.
Got 2 pairs of glasses for free when I got my eyes tested.
Go and see him and get your eyes tested.
Did you go to Lockie though? Huh. Did you go and see Lockie? If you haven't gone and seen Lockie, can you bloody bloke you've got now as your eye test specialist and go see the guys at Gabriel Mar Optometrist. It's very important to support our sponsors.
And get your eyes checked.
Get your eyes checked at least once a year.
I remember the last time I had mine done. I think I have to stop in there when I go to Newey next.
Yeah.
Which will probably be in another 12 months' time because of COVID.
You know what the funny thing is? Last time I went in there, not long before I moved down here, he told me my eyes were fine, but yet I can't see shit and I'm bringing it down the bottom.
I know, I have to resize everything for you.
Oh, funny.
Otherwise you just see him do this all the time.
I'm going to have to start wearing my glasses.
And it's annoying.
I'm going to have to get my glasses out. I'm going to have to get the 4 eyes.
Surely he can get you some custom Jets ones or something.
Oh, that'd be nice. I've got a pair at home which he gave me. But yeah, anyway.
It's about that time, I think.
It's about that
We're
time.
waffling.
I'm getting buzzed every 5 seconds. Bloody hell.
There goes mine.
But yeah, no, anyway, guys, we are going to leave it there. We do thank everybody for jumping in. It is muchly appreciated. Hope these guys got a little bit of an insight into obviously the W League.
We sure did.
I got a bit of a shock more than an insight. Very surprised, and honestly, it's definitely something I'm going to be speaking to Laurie about. Just for the simple fact that I just want clarification of, is there something that we can be done, or what can, what is he? Does he feel the same way as we do? As it's not right and things.
Cheers, Lucky.
Cheers, mate.
We just saw it pop up.
Yeah, I'll tinkle you after this. It's surely there's something we can do. Surely there's something they can do. I mean the women. And they can do to see out, if not a 12-month contract,
even a 6 months,
a bloody longer contract, at least a 6-month contract.
At least a 6-month
2 months of after that's finished, or shit, 4 weeks of a pre-season. Are you going to pay them for 4 weeks and they're going to play W?
Stupid. Yeah, it makes your blood boil.
Anyway, I'm not going to go into that. Time. What?
No, he's talking about his last response.
Oh.
First time in a long time.
Oh, okay. Well, you need to go.
You need to go see Lockie.
Need to go see Lockie. Tell him I sent you. Tell him the big fella sent you. That was an ad Newcastle ad or something. I can't remember what the hell it was. If I remember it. Anyway, guys. Yeah. So I'm going to get on to Laurie about that because I think it's definitely something that needs to be spoken about, and hopefully try and get him on just for 15 minutes even, just to talk about that one simple topic of why are the girls only getting paid 4-month contracts, and how do we go about sorting that out? And how does the A League...
we will. That is something that we will structure and record, and then probably. Oh, Tara's joined.
Hey Tara.
Hey Tara.
Thank you very much again.
Now she's going to get to see me in my pajama pants.
the famous pajama pants that everyone's talking about.
We're rocking SpongeBob SquarePants tonight.
Bloody beautiful. We're just wrapping up, Tara. But honestly, thank you very much for jumping on. We were just saying it's a good insight, obviously, to see what you guys do, and what you guys aren't getting where you should be. The whole 4-month contract for me is just totally blown my mind. That's just really, I'm almost like, wow.
Yeah, we'll speak to Laurie about that.
We'll speak to Laurie about it and hopefully get an answer and get him on to have a chat about that. But we do thank you very much for jumping on. It's a pleasure always to have any Newcastle Jets players, male or even staff as well, male, female. We're more than happy to have you. To be fair,
I did push you for a while for a W League player.
Do you know how many, and as I said, do you know how many females? Do you know how many females I started hitting up? And my ugly mug's not the best sort of delete. I guarantee you, delete. So it's not without trying, honestly. We do thank Tara very much for jumping on, and hopefully, as I said, Tara, if you do know anyone, any of the girls who might be interested, or backroom staff, whatever, we'd love to have them on and talk to them about their time at the Jets and what their thoughts are. Obviously, in the same situation, the 4-month contracts in regards to the women, to obviously what they think the A League needs and the W League needs moving forward. So, other than that, guys, we are going to leave it. As we said, make sure to pop over and see Gabe and Lockie at Gabriel Mar Optometrist at Jesmond. It is muchly appreciated. Without those guys, I wouldn't be sort of sitting here with some of the equipment that I do have, and obviously
all my equipment,
the giveaways that we do have to give away to you guys. It's muchly appreciated. They don't have to do it, but we do thank them, obviously, in the times that we're in, which is muchly appreciated as well.
Yeah, keep going.
Oh, sorry. Make sure you guys do go out there and see those guys. If you've got any eye dramas like me, you can't see the frigging screen at the moment.
That's why I have to resize everything to massive for you.
It fits my massive head. But yeah, we'll catch you guys soon. This Friday coming, we will be joined by Daniel Mullen, ex-Newcastle Jet, Adelaide, Wellington, Campbelltown. He's at Campbelltown now, that just annoys me because I hate when it says they're at Campbelltown. Like, since they go, he's in Sydney and then he's in Adelaide.
No, he's in the other Campbelltown.
There's another Campbelltown. Why can't we just name the one place in Australia and be done with it?
He's playing with Fifey still.
Yeah, he's still playing with Fifey. Daniel Mullen will be on to talk obviously about his time at the Jets and obviously football in general. So be sure to tune in on Friday to have a chat with him, which is muchly appreciated.
I'll get to work on a thumbnail.
Absolutely. It's not going to be as easy and as smooth as that one, I'm sure.
No, Tara's one was really easy to do.
Nice white background, happy days, done deal. Other than that, guys, thanks for joining in tonight. It's muchly appreciated. Hope you guys enjoy your working week. And other than that, as always, we hate
Coast Scum.
See you guys.